They seen how rats ran inside of mazes, but then they noticed that certain rats that they got from other environments could not figure the maze out. And it baffled the scientists. This is in 1920. It baffled the scientists. The scientist was like, well, how? It's the same rats. It's the same genetic makeup. They just from two different environments. I think one rat was from China, somewhere the other rats was from Russia. They put these same rats, which is the same genetically made rats, just from two different environments inside the maze. And one of them made it through the maze and another one didn't. He said, is this just a coincidence? So he got 80 rats from each different parts and did the same thing. And the rats that came from China made it through the maze and the rats that came from Russia didn't. And he constantly wondering like, what the hell is going on here? He said it can't be the genetics because the genetical biological makeup of the rats is the same. And he said it must be the environment. So then what he did was this. He said, well, I wonder if I change the environment of both rats, will the rats that come from China start acting dumb? And will the rats that come from Russia start acting smart? So he took the rats and he changed the actual environment. And guess what happened? The dumb rats now was making it through the maze. The smart rats now could not make it through the maze. So is you truly smart and intelligent, or do your environment make you smart and intelligent? Do your environment make you make the life choices and decisions you made? Because I ain't never in my life seen somebody grew up with a silver and gold spoon that had everything they wanted, that was educated in the right way to secure the survival of their people, go out and make stupid decisions against themselves that will harm them or that will stop them from fulfilling the purpose of securing the nation and the longevity of their people. But you see that when you get stuck in a false environment by false people, because you were once kings and queens, you were gods, you had all the gold in the world, you had civilizations. Do you realize when you read this book and it talks about how they undeveloped Africa, how all the minerals in Africa come from you, come from your ancestral line, all the kings and queens come from Africa, come from you, come from your ancestral line? We talking about birthing the civilizations, teaching people how to bathe, teaching people how to knit, how to sew, how to clothe themselves, how to hold their pampers up, how to wipe their asses, how to brush their teeth. All of that come from you. So how can you, a people, which is not the minority, you're the majority of the people. When you start talking about the European race and you start talking about the Neanderthals, that makes up 10% of the population globally. They only make up 10% of the population globally. Do you realize that you are the majority here? So how can 10% of the world population literally put 75% of the people under their feet? How can you do something like that if it's not through witchcraft, if it's not through spell casting and casting spells to get you to change from a real reality to a false reality? That's what they have done, and they do this through the media. And that's why media and images is so important, and that's why we should not allow our children nor ourselves to watch the news. We need to control our own information, because information is food for the soul. Information is food for the brain. So whoever is giving you information is feeding your environment. The environment inputs this information into your brain. This brain turns these things into chemistry, and this chemistry acts out your actuality. This is nothing but satanic mind control, and this is the reason why you sick. It's the reason why you sick. And then you look at them and you notice how they move and how they operate. You won't see them in all the designer clothes, but you will see them owning land. You will see them owning gold and minerals. You will see them owning guns, and you will see them prepping for survival. But you see us, we riding around in the most fancy cars. We riding around with the most designer clothes on, and we're the brokest. We're the brokest. They have more money. They got more credit. Our credit messed up. If you look at how it's going, and we think that this is good. We think it's good to be riding around on your last check in that car that you can't afford. We think it's good to be dependent on the government and using your food stamps to fill your refrigerator up with foods that's killing you, that's not even real food. We have become so addicted and so normal to being in this fake stimulation that anything that tries to pull you out and to wake you up from it, you look at it like it's a threat. And usually it's your own people that's trying to wake you up out of that slumber that you in, and you will look at me like I'm your enemy, but you won't look at the people that have created the environment that got you sociologically sick like you are. You see that? As the enemy. And it's the